Hey guys, welcome back to Empowered Athletes. I apologize for the long time it took me to put this video up. Things got crazy this last couple of weeks and months, and so it has been a long time. I'm back now, and we should have videos more regularly up, and that is again my fault. So I believe the last video that I put up, we were talking about lateral movement and how to properly position our feet to change directions. I gave you a couple of drills to do, things to help you practice that foot movement, move from slow to fast with that nice cut where we plant our foot outside. We're able to lean in the opposite direction to change directions. So now we're going to work on, or I'm going to talk to you a little bit about force absorption and about reaction and plyometrics. That's a question I get a lot is, what should I do for plyometrics, and how can I use plyometrics to increase my vertical or help me to run faster, move laterally quicker. So we're going to kind of lump all this together and talk about how I can use plyometrics to help my lateral movement. How can I be more agile? Can I increase my agility? So there's two types of plyometrics that I like to use. And there's one, A is movement efficiency, or low-level plyometrics, things like line jumps or jump ropes. And then number two is the actual power plyometrics, more like box jumps or traditional stuff like depth jumps go in that category, bounding. Kelly Baggett actually does a great job explaining how this works in The Truth About Quickness. I highly encourage you to check that out. It's on the link. I believe the link is right below this video. Check that out. If you want a step-by-step program on how to increase your quickness, then it's a great program to follow. So again, Kelly Baggett is a great coach anyway. Comes up with a lot of great stuff. He's very highly skilled. So if you want to check that out, that's right below this video. So real quick, let me just run down those two types of plyometrics. First is movement efficiency. We're training here to be quicker and more agile. So again, the best athletes, the ones that are the quickest, notice if you watch them move, they don't move really tight. They're not really tense. They're actually pretty loose. We're able to move quickly and change directions without tightening up. You see untrained athletes, if I tell them to get on a line and do line jumps, they really tighten up, they tense, and then we're trying to go as fast as we can over this line, and we're really tight. So hear that, or you'll hear footfalls that are really heavy, especially with that kind of movement with untrained athletes. So what I try to get people to do when I'm getting them to increase their agility or their movement efficiency is to loosen up, just relax. You want to be able to hop across this line fast, but you don't want to be really tight doing it. So I want to be able to just kind of hop back and forth across this line, but stay loose, right? So think about it as not going 100%, but going about 90%. And instead of aiming for quickness, thinking about quickness so much, think about making it as smooth as possible. Think about just gliding back and forth across these lines, just making yourself really smooth. So for movement efficiency, line jumps are great. I don't really like a lot of jump rope because we tend to get to the marathon sessions where we're going for 5 minutes straight with jump rope, which is really training endurance, and it's not really training quickness. So line jumps are great. If you want to make those harder, just go to 1 foot, and then you can hop back and forth across the line with 1 foot. It's a lot harder. You can go front to back, you can go side to side. You could actually add a barrier in there where you're actually jumping over something short, not high, and then increase the height of that gradually. You can jump down and up. Again, a lot of these exercises are actually in The Truth About Quickness, so if you check that out, you can find out exactly what types and how many reps to do and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to go into that right now. I do want to emphasize the point, though, that we want to be really smooth when we're doing these. Loosen up. Don't be so tight when you're doing a low-level plyo exercise. Second is learning how to absorb force, which is something that most people don't do correctly. And it's just something that the great athletes do well, and the untrained ones don't do. So something that has to be taught. I teach force absorption through usually through a box jump. First stage of a box jump is just the up part. So I should be able to jump up and land on this chair, softly and on balance. So if you tell someone to just do that, a lot of times you'll see this. You'll see them jump and they'll land really heavy. You'll hear them land. You'll hear the footfall. But I really shouldn't hear that, especially on a chair this height, because I'm going to jump and I'm not going to get that much higher over it. So I shouldn't have that far to fall, right? So I should be able to absorb my force pretty good on this chair. And I also should be on balance. I don't want to jump and land soft and then fall over. So I want to be able to jump up and land soft and on balance and then step down. So good box jump would land there, and I can step off. Again, I want to jump, stick the landing, and step off. I don't want to jump off yet. So once you've mastered that, you can even make the box higher. I just use this chair. I probably want to use a higher box to challenge my jump a little bit. But you can use whatever size box you've got. Just make sure you can land stably and on balance. This is where a lot of people go wrong with box jumps. They think, well, I'm just going to get a really high box and jump up onto it. And they don't really pay attention to how they're jumping and how they're landing. So they're not really teaching their body to absorb force. Maybe they're increasing their power, but they're not training their body to absorb force. And that's very, very important, especially if you want to get quicker and more agile. So the second part, or stage 2 of this, would be to stand on the box and jump off. It's a lot harder to land soft off the box because you're coming from a much higher distance. So again, I want to absorb the force softly and on balance. So I don't want my heel slamming into the ground. So if you jump off the box and you're landing like that, that's probably not good because you're not absorbing the force. The force is just slamming into you. So we're not really going to bounce. I want to land with some kind of bounce. So this would be the right way, where I'm just bouncing a little bit. I could also cheat this by extreme knee bend. So I can land soft, even if I don't absorb force very well, by landing down here like that. So I land really softly, but I bent my knees a lot. What's wrong about that is it took me way too long to absorb the force. If I have to absorb force like that, then to change directions, I would have to plant my leg, bend all the way down, and then explode the other direction. So I don't want to have to bend so much. I want to be able to plant and bounce, right? I want to be able to explode in the other direction as soon as possible. So the quicker that we can absorb force, the better off we're going to be. So when you're doing this down part, make sure that you can land with a little bit of bounce without much heel collapse, okay? And just be able to land with minimal knee bend. So that would be the second part. And then from there you can progress that to depth jumps or other like higher level plyometric exercises. But just learn this and you'll be a long way, a lot further than most people who do plyos. So just do the movement efficiency and learn how to absorb force. And then you're probably good to go because really what you probably should be doing is getting stronger along the majority of the time and doing this stuff at the beginning. So two things with these plyos. Number one, I want to do these at the beginning of my workout. I don't want to do them at the end. They're not conditioning exercises, so I don't want to do them, at the end when I'm all worn out. I want to do them when I'm fresh, right after my warm-up. And then two, I need to do these exercises with less volume, but take care to make sure you're doing them right. So I don't need to do 500 box jumps, okay? That's not going to help you. Just do enough to teach your body how to do the movement, and then stop. A little bit goes a long way with plyos. So, it's not like you're going to go, that's why I don't like jump rope, because we tend to do it for too long. Line jumps, do 20 and stop. Give yourself a break, and then do 20 more and stop. And then you're probably done. Box jumps, do a set of 5. And then break, and then do another set of 5. That's it, right? So I don't need to do a lot. Just a little bit, and then I'm good to go. And then probably go lift, because that's what you really should be doing to make yourself more explosive anyway. So Hope that answers your questions a little bit about plyos and about quickness and agility and how to train your body to absorb force and react better. Again, this is reaction training. It's not necessarily going to make you more explosive. It's going to make you a little quicker. For a detailed workout, for more in-depth and better explanation than I'm giving now, you can check out that link below, Kelly Baggett's Truth About Quickness. It's a great program. It does cost you, but it's well worth the cost, I think, in the area of improving quickness. So, hope that is good enough for you guys to answer some of your questions. I'd love for you to promote me on Facebook or Twitter if you've enjoyed this little video. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching me, putting up with my long videos. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below. Always welcome them. And as always, train hard, train smart. Thanks, guys.